There. My name is Heather Feather. I am the owner of Rare Bird Medicine, and today's topic is fantasy versus reality. What even is reality, you guys? Can you tell me? I love fantasy. I love sci-fi. I love fantasy. I always have. I love, The Dark Crystal, The Secret of Nim, The Never-Ending Story, all of this stuff. I've always loved things that go more into fantasy, alternate realms, things of that nature. But I also have a very vivid imagination and have always had an adept fantasy world that I live in. We also have our dream world and we have our waking world. And even though your dreams are symbolically based, I sometimes can take my dreams quite literally. And it's really not always the best idea. Not always the best idea. I once had a job where I had a dream. There was a person that worked there that I dreamed was like my person. I dreamed we were lovers, and I was like, that's weird. I didn't necessarily feel attracted to that person, but I was like, that's interesting. And so I thought that I was supposed to be with this person, and then I realized that they had a wife, and I was like, well, this doesn't make any sense. And I was like, well, maybe they're getting a divorce. And I got to know their wife, and I was like, I really like this person's wife. Like, this is not. And so I was like, oh, well, the dream is not reality. This is how much my realms can kind of blend. Later in that job, there was another person that actually was single that started appearing in my dreams as my soulmate. And I would wake up, I would have this dream that I was in bed with them, and I would have this feeling of, I don't need a morsel of food. I don't need a drop of liquid. I literally do not need a single thing from the universe, as I have never been so fulfilled as to just lay in bed with this human and breathe next to them. And that's all I've ever needed. And then I would wake up and go to work and be with this person that was a friend of mine. But I was like, what is this? And I started having these dreams quite frequently of like, this person is my soulmate, but the fantasy of my dreams did not match the reality of my engagement with this two-legged. Okay? That's not what was going on in reality. It got so intense and so overwhelming and so all-consuming to consistently be having dreams. And I would sometimes be having psychic daydreams or visions. The shaman I was training with at the time told me, he said, you're a very, very busy woman, Heather, and you're going to start receiving downloads. And I thought he meant when I was sleeping, but I was receiving downloads during the day. So I was dreaming of this person at night, but during the day I was also having these weird downloads of us like getting married, and very strange. It's one of the strangest experiences I've ever had in my life. It almost drove me crazy because it became so intense that I eventually went to this guy and told him, like, I feel very drawn to you. And he's like, well, I don't. It's like, okay. That started a 5-year period of a tremendous amount of experiences where my yes was someone else's no. And it was a tremendous hardship because I could fantasize or see the idea of being with a person. I know that I have a lot to offer. I know that I am a human, and I know that I'm fallible, but I also know that I do my work. I self-reflect. I'm willing to grow. I've told many partners throughout my life, I apologize. I was wrong. You know what? I need to make sure that I've had a snack before I meet up with you. So I was a little grouchy. That's on me. Please forgive me. I will do better next time. And I do that. I work to improve my behavior where I'm wrong in relationship. And I'm not a saint, but I know I'm a tremendous offering in relationship. And I also know that I have a tremendous imagination. I have a tremendous ability to fantasize. I am a true romantic, I am so in awe of some of the most romantic tales I've received. And I'm not talking about these sweeping fantasy romances. I mean, real life stories of just cute things two-leggeds have done in their love of one another. Like my mom and dad sharing love notes, like so cute, right? And so I think that it should be easy to be in partnership. Like I don't know what the breakdown is. You be you, I be me. We honor each other's sovereignty and freedom. I'm not trying to control you. I'm not the boss of you. You're not trying to control me. You're not the boss of me. But we be honorable, loyal, trustworthy people who can come into union and partnership. And because of the magnitude of the integrity of our character, we don't have to have concern over one another because we are truly our word. And it just seems like relationship makes sense, but the reality of my relationship, they don't make sense. Two like to do all kinds of things, and I'm not here to judge it just because I wouldn't do it in this lifetime, because perhaps I've done it in other lifetimes, but they do all kinds of things, and I'm like, I don't understand you at all. I don't understand you. There's someone in my life, in the river of my life, that I learned a few weeks ago, maybe a month ago, that they're single, and that is information I did not need to know because it led me into a realm of fantasy again, where I was feeling cute aggression for this person, like, oh, I just want to leg wrestle him in the streets. Just what my weird mind thinks of. Oh, I just want to wrestle you, but I don't. This is not a person that is seeking me. And I've said for a long time, I'm seeking that which is seeking me. And right now, I'm really working to keep my attention on outside of fantasy, keep my attention outside of the concept of romance, sex, partnership, union, because I am seeking that which is seeking me. And so how does Heather Feather know when it's time to put her attention on romance, sexual union, interests, partnership, flirtation? It's going to be because I feel like someone is seeking me. They will be shining the light of their attention on getting to know me. And if I have mutual interest, then I'll shine the light of my attention on getting to know them. But that is not happening in the river of my life at all. Instead, this person that I find deeply, inwardly, interestingly, most importantly, but also outwardly extremely attractive, is not seeking me. And I'm getting distracted by fantasy. And so I'm working to keep myself in a reality. Now, for me, I'm extremely multidimensional. I'm extremely multiversal. And so for me, reality is not something, it's like trying to pin Jello with a nail to a wall. It's not something that is static. It's exceptionally dynamic. It is quantum waves of probability that are constantly shifting based on the consciousness we hold. And there are several dynamics with me when it comes to the concept of fantasy that is developed around attraction. Like, I don't want to ever have attraction or interest in someone that doesn't want my attention. And that has happened in my life where I've had interest in someone that is not mutually interested, like I've just shared. And I've had plenty of people that have had interest in me that it is not mutual. And many times I haven't listened to myself and I've just been with them anyhow. Or they've aggressively had interest in me in a way that I definitely didn't want, and I've had experiences I didn't want. And so because of that, I don't ever want to have interest in someone or have my attention with someone that doesn't want it. And so I'm working, I had this dawning realization this past week where it was like, Heather, you are in fantasy. You are like fantasizing of this guy that is not seeking you, and it's not appropriate. It's not appropriate. I mean, like, it's a silly thing to say, but it's not appropriate based on what it is I say I want. And what I want is for the magnitude of my attention to be well used. We have great power. You know, the school of metaphysics taught our most precious commodity is our attention. And I believe that to be true because it's in the modern age commodified through your devices, through your phone. Your phone, people everywhere are doom scrolling. People are stopped at green lights right now because they're on their phone, texting, doom scrolling, whatever. And your attention, because it's such a precious commodity, has been commodified by your device right now. Your device is potentially causing you to watch this. And I do my best to use this device to offer information that I feel will serve, information that's serving my own spirit. Maybe it'll serve your spirit. But as a general rule, I try to avoid it. But I notice even it is garnering my attention. And I'm not in reality. I'm in this fantasy world of watching other people's lives. I'm in fantasy again. I'm in the fantasy of my phone, you know? And that's okay. I'm not going to vilify myself. I'm having a human experience, and my attention is being commodified. And I think there are certain ways that our attention is continuously pulled. We already know this. They've done the show, The Social Dilemma, showed all that. How, you know, if you're interested in someone, then they'll put that person up in your feed first thing if you go to a social media platform where they are. And it's just like, okay, please don't do that. I'm trying to look at this person right now. So what I'm trying to do is be in the reality that I am seeking. Now, I do believe that's constantly changing because I think we have an infinite number of dimensions, and we're constantly moving through them. The dimension I want to be in is in the one in which the people I'm engaging with are the people that are seeking me. They're seeking Heather Feather. They're seeking to know Heather Feather. They're seeking to engage with Heather Feather. They're seeking to share something with Heather Feather. And I am seeking those people. That's who I'm looking to engage with. Those that are like, oh, hey, I want to talk to you. I want to get to know you. Hey, let's talk. Okay, great. I love talking. I love listening too. Tell me all your stories. I love to ask people, tell me everything about yourself since you were born. Go. And I feel like I could just sit and infinitely listen because I love receiving others. And we can spend an entire lifetime in the fantasy of a life. I don't want to spend my life fantasizing about who I could be with. I would rather be with myself, enjoy my own company, enjoy the company of spirit, enjoy the company of the ancestors, enjoy the company of the allies, enjoy the company of the divines, bow in gratitude and supplication. How can I serve you, divines? Enjoy the spirit realm, enjoy my four-legged, enjoy my beautiful little girl, Salusa. I would rather be present in the real reality of Heather Feather, engaging. And, when I say reality, I do consider this an illusion. It's kind of a tricky statement. But this illusory creation that I am manifesting, I want to be present with. I don't want to be over here in a daydream of someone that does not daydream of me. I don't want to be over here and scrolling through someone's life while my life is not being lived. I have a painting I've wanted to paint for a long time, and it comes from the movie Surviving Death. And somebody was asking a ghost questions and taking pictures, and things were being written in light. And there's a moment when they asked a question, and written in light was "rethink your belief," and it was right above this guy's head who was sitting on a couch. And it's this dope 70s picture. This guy looks like Einstein almost. And it says, rethink your belief. And I wanted to paint that for a long, long time. What I've been doing for the past 3 weeks is fantasizing and daydreaming about what it might be like to kiss this man on the lips or leg wrestle him in the streets. Okay, that's not happening. That's not reality. That's not going to happen. Goofy clown. People don't leg wrestle on the streets. Granted, we did when I was a punk kid, but we don't do that anymore. And so I don't want to watch my life pass by as I daydream of what it could have been. I want to be a very present creator of where I'm headed. And so as far as me engaging with other two-leggeds, I know it's time to do that because they're seeking me. When someone talks to me, hello, yes, now you're seeking me. Okay, I'm listening. To me, that's what I call divine appointment. Spirit would have me connect with this person. So that's when it's time for me to get present. But, in reality, my job ends in February or March. My annuity of monthly payments until I die does not start until November. I have things in my reality that require my attention. I'm fine. I have savings. It's not a stressor for me. And I also get to consider, what am I going to do with this 8-month period before my monthly payments begin? And how do I want to spend my time? Am I going to get an office job? Am I going to become a landscaper? What am I going to do with myself during this period? There are many, many things that warrant my attention. And so more and more and more, I work to do my sit-ups and do my push-ups, do my coconut oil pulling every night, which whitens my teeth and gets bacteria out of my mouth. Turn my attention to my reality, to my self-care, prepare my organic meals, and expand my menu options for what I can prepare when a two-legged does engage with me and get to know me. I can make you a meal. Look, choose a recipe. Let me go get you some ingredients and make you a meal, What is it that you are doing in your life that is fantasy? And how can you turn your attention from the fantasy realm of reality, which is its own, space, into a place that you actually have and hold as a real truth that you get to know, taste, touch and be a part of the life that you're actually walking. You can always subscribe to Rare Bird Medicine on YouTube. Like and comment there. I always love your thoughts. Amun.